welcome to the vlog. So we're at a very special place right now, and I just want to show y'all because I announced it on Instagram. But Brandon and I bought a piece of land. So we just bought a lot of dirt for a lot of money, and later we are actually going to build our dream house, forever home, the home we raise our children in on this land. There's not much to look at right now, but we already met our neighbors. They're super cool. But the cool thing about this neighborhood, obviously I'm not gonna like name the neighborhood, but it's in the heart of Sugar Land. There's like old houses here, and then people are basically tearing them down and building new houses. The land is worth more than the old houses now, is what I'm saying. So right now we're going to build equity in the land, and then in about a year my channel is about to turn into like HGTV, because I probably won't compete in that year. And yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys that. I just want to do that and answer questions about our investment on another video. So if you have any questions, just ask below, and then I'll also do the ask on Instagram. But yes, this is just step one of what we're going to show you today. What do you think?
The plan is to start construction next year, but we can literally do it whenever, which is awesome. And we're not gonna start construction until we can literally go to whatever builder we choose, and we can cross off every checkbox, because we're gonna live here for the rest of our lives. We're not moving. People don't understand that. I mean, it's weird to say that when you're in your 20s, but it's the truth. We're not moving.
Like, we could build it this year, but we want things that we don't want to have to sacrifice. So we're just gonna wait until it's, you know, smarter to spend.
Yeah, if we're gonna build a house, we're gonna, you know, do the little things that are gonna make it unique for us. Otherwise, we would have just bought a house. But that's why we went with this one. It's cool. Yeah.
Okay, so we're back at my house, about to go work out, but I just wanted to show you guys all of the supplements I take in off season, because I've gotten a lot of questions about this. So I'll just start. First of all, a fiber supplement. I eat a lot less veggies during my off season just because I don't need as high a volume of food. So I add my fiber in order to hit my 25 grams a day. It's from 1UP. And then gut health. So this is their new gut health product. It's probiotics and digestive enzymes all in one. And I haven't used it for long enough, but I've heard really good reviews from the people that have. But I'll keep you updated on that. Once again, 1UP. Okay, every morning, first thing in the morning, I take vegan reds and greens. It helps a lot with my digestion and IBS, besides just finding my trigger foods. I take that right when I wake up, and then about 30 minutes later, I always need to go to the bathroom, so that helps me a lot. And then it also has all the micros in there. Once again, if you're not eating as many veggies, this gives you all the nutrients that you need if you were eating the veggies. So during my workouts, I do a BCA EAA mix and also glutamine for joint support. I just mix this in with my pre-workout. It's also 1UP. Then after workouts, this is my source of creatine. It has other things in it, but I want to talk about the creatine because that is the most studied supplement on the market, and I take this year-round. You don't need to cycle off creatine. It doesn't make you retain water if you're drinking enough water. And basically it pulls water into your muscles, because a hydrated muscle is a strong and like working muscle. So it's from 1UP. And then we have like miscellaneous things, especially with COVID and everything. My immune support is 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and this one is 30 milligrams of zinc. I use these two brands. Any brand will work. And then if I do decide to eat some cheese or something, lactase enzyme, usually not, but I always take it when I go out to like birthday parties or like something like that, because if I'm gonna eat cake, I need this. And then finally, for good sleep, I've never really gotten good sleep until I started using CBD. I use the brand Just CBD, and this is just the like tincture, like honey type thing, and you can put it in tea, you can put it in any drink. And then also my favorite, which obviously there's only one left, but it's the gummies, and they come in all different types of gummies, and it's just a good like sweet treat before bed, and it also helps me sleep a lot and kind of like wind down from my pre-workout. So besides these, I also take pre-workout and then just your regular protein powder. Okay, so last thing I want to show you is protein. I don't use any whey because it personally makes me break out like crazy and I don't need any more help with that. So I use vegan protein. They just came out with banana bread and caramel macchiato, or caramel coffee macchiato. Anyway, these are really good. They have peanut butter and vanilla also, but I don't really care for those very much because they're kind of chalky, but these are my favorites. The chocolate's my OG favorite, and they mix really well with just water, and they don't stay super chalky. So if whey doesn't work for you, I would definitely try this. Okay, so today I'm doing a highly requested video over just like basic starting point bikini posing for the year 2020. So a lot of posing routines and stuff you see on YouTube are outdated, but as the sport evolves, it does go to different poses. So today I have Hustle Harder, our posing coach, Hannah, and then I have one of my clients, Casey, and she just competed, so she's still all shredded and stuff. But I'm nowhere near shredded, but I'm still gonna take part in this, and Hannah's just gonna kind of like guide through it.
So as she was saying, the posing is changing. So you could see on YouTube and stuff, and like a lot of the other poses, everybody would hit the front pose that you would pose like this. I know Issa does it a lot now, but other than that, not many other pros will hit that. And a lot of the judges will tell you not to hit that pose unless you can nail it. So I usually don't like putting people in those poses unless they 100% can nail it. They have the shoulder ratio, they have the lat ratio, they have all of that. So a good starting point for a pose that you're gonna do is just the basic front pose that everybody's going to, and it's just gonna be the basic side pose like this. So we'll put Kerigan and Casey in that pose. And so from here, what I like to do is I have you go on both sides, and then we'll see kind of which side looks best with you here. So as you can see, Kerigan is here, and one of the main cues that you want to have is your belly button is going to be turning this way, and then you want to square up your shoulders to the camera. So you never want your waist to be straight on like this. You always want your belly button to be there. And same thing goes with Casey when she gets into that pose as well. She's there, and see her belly button is facing there, and then bring the shoulder a little bit further that way, and they're squared off there. So you can see that they both have the X shape that you're looking for. You go X here and then X there that way, which is one of the main shapes that they're looking for from there. And then from there you can just do a basic transition, just the come together transition that you do. A lot of times whenever you're doing bikini posing, it's all gonna be very, very similar. What's gonna be different is gonna be your attitude, your sass, your arm movements, kind of stuff like that. But there's basically really only one front pose, one back pose, and how you get from your front to back pose, there's not many other ways to do it. So what's gonna be unique is how the flair that you add to it. So you can see that they kind of did a very similar transition pose from there. But Kerigan has both hands on the hips, she has one hand on the hip. I do no hands on the hips when I do it. So from there you can see that that's what's gonna be different, and then transition to the back from there. So come around with it, and then in the back pose, and then for the back pose that you're gonna do, that one, we'll just go from there, yeah. Okay. Give a little sass, and then go into the back. Oh, yeah. And then when you're in the back pose, so when you're in the back pose, you do not want to be bent over. So bend over, like, do not do that at all. The judges are down here. When the judges are down here, and you bend over like that, they're not gonna see, so bend over. So they don't see any of this. All they see is gonna, like, they're gonna stop and they're just gonna see this, and then they may see your head versus stand up. And if you're standing up, you get the same X that you're getting for in there. And then same thing goes with Casey in there. So what's gonna be different on every individual is gonna be your heel placement and your toe placement. So some people need their toes pointed out, some people need their toes pointed in. That's gonna be based on how much quad that you have. If you are more quad dominant, we're gonna have your toes facing in a little bit. If you are less quad dominant, we're gonna move your toes out a little bit. Your hands, you're gonna keep them on your quads on the inside. And you're really gonna push from here, and it's gonna flex those rear delts. You never ever wanna squeeze your back together like shoulder blades. You never wanna do that, because if you see, she lost all of the width in her back. Push her back out. So when she does that and she has her arms against it, her waist is small. You can see that she's got the X here. The wide back, wide hips, or wide hips, wide glutes, and small back.
I'm gonna do everything wrong in case it's gonna do everything right.
Yes. Okay. There we go.
Ready?
Or we start from the beginning or now?
No, just the back
pose. Right here.
Just the back pose. So see, bending over, legs are not straight, and she's squeezing her back. Versus standing up straight, not squeezing the back, hands are against her hips. And then turn to the side, so let's show them what it actually looks like. So as you can see, like they're not bending over. Like you can see that all she's doing is she's pushing her hips out and her chest is up. Same thing goes here, pushing her hips out and her chest is up. So when it's wrong, it looks like this. When it's wrong, you're like that. Or a lot of people will, when they're in their back pose, they'll be here and they think you need to go like this because they think that that's gonna pull their glute tie in a lot better. You want to be here, and some cues that I like to give to some people, there are two. So one cue is going to be act like you're doing a deadlift. So when you pop your hips out when you're going down to do a deadlift, that's where you're going to be, and then you're going to bring your chest back up. So all you're doing is you're popping this hip out. Or another one is, think of that I have a string attached right here, and all I'm doing is pulling her up right there. So all you want is your glutes to be high. You never want to bend over. So that's going to be basically the kind of the main poses. Once you go from a back pose, you'll just transition back to your front pose, depending on what side you want to be on. But that's kind of where bikini posing has been evolved to. From there, do you have anything to add?
So the old front pose is not completely out, but as an amateur, you kind of need to stick to one or two just for comparison, so you kind of have a different look that you can give them, because usually you're staying there for a long time, so some people will just be like, and then go back, maybe something like that. And as a pro, you have what, a minute routine, so you get to show all of, she's a pro, by the way, this isn't just like a random person. So you know, creditable. But as a pro, you can show like all these different poses, like front poses and stuff. But for me, this is obviously not my best front pose. So I have these bigger, like developed legs. I don't have the smallest waist. So this is not my pose. This is my pose. And all of this, there's no like right or wrong or like only one way to learn it. You need to experiment with different poses and work with the posing coach. And as your body develops, your best pose may be something else. Yeah. So there's no like cut and dry thing. There's no standardized posing. This won't get you deducted compared to this if it's your correct pose. Yes. So
that's where it was. All of these. That front pose, like I said, it has to be done correctly. It's very hard to hit that pose. So Bikini Olympia is yes, like, you know, she's one of, if you don't look like her, you don't look like Issa. It's kind of hard there. But like she said, like your poses are gonna change too. Like a lot of girls that I work with, one side may look better when they're not as lean, and then as we get down, I'm like, all right, I hate to break it to you, we're switching sides. The other side looks better. So it's a good thing just to have the foundation and know the cues and know the tips. It's not one size fits all, but there are cues and tips that are one size fits all. Like keeping your chest up in all of your poses, keeping your glutes up in all of your poses, hips up, standing up tall, those kind of things. But what you'll need a coach for is usually going to be where your foot placement. Some people, like I know Kerigan, you pose with this foot more sideways, and I pose more with this foot straight on. That's just going to be based on lines and the small things. But you know, always having your belly button this way and your chest forward is going to be just some main tips that you can start practicing and focusing on. But yeah, it's
so these little things are why we like hired Hannah to be on our team and trust her with our girls. So I know Casey, you were posing with somebody else and your routine was great, but then you went to Hannah and these little details made it so much better, and I really do think that was like the difference between your placing and not. I do too. You know? Yeah. And I can say for myself, I competed against Hannah. She won her pro card and won in the show that I got 4th in, and I am so excited to learn from her with my posing, because that's something where I lack, and I realize I have made like insane progress with my physique, but if I can't pose it and show it the right way, I will never win my pro card. So, because you have to exemplify all of the qualities of a pro. And so I'm excited to trust myself with her, and obviously she can handle my girls too. So
we're a lot to put up with.
So yeah, that was very basic. There's a lot more. You need to work with somebody one-on-one. I will put Hannah's information in our description box, but I do want to say if you are on our team, you get a very large discount compared to if you're not. She's not just exclusive to our team, so if you want to book with Hannah, please message her. And yeah, otherwise, hustle harder, you get a discount. Just saying. But yeah, so we're gonna go lift. Hannah has one of like the most impressive tapers I've ever seen, so naturally so, we're going to go ahead and hit some back. But yeah, so I'm gonna show you that. It's pretty loud in there, so I don't know how much dialogue there'll be, but at least there'll be a sick edit by Duhan, and let's get it.
Hey guys, so I'm Casey. I'm a Hustle Harder client of Kerigan and Brandon's. I'm going to tell you guys kind of what I like about being a Hustle Harder client, what makes it different. I've been with the squad for coming up on a year now, and when I came to Kerigan, I had competed once before, but I didn't really have the itch again yet. I just kind of wanted to get back into having a coach, having accountability. So we worked together lifestyle for a few months before I decided I wanted to compete again, and we entered a prep. And this prep with Hustle Harder was totally different than my past preps. Everything was more attentive. They definitely want to see you succeed, and they provide you the tools to know what to do, which I think is most important with a coach. The knowledge and the reasoning behind everything is so important, and so just having them on my side resulted in an awesome season, and I couldn't be happier. It's a great team. Inquire below. Hustle Harder.
Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The posing tips and everything I think will be super helpful, and I want to post more about competing and stuff like that, even when I'm in my off season on my channel. So get ready for more videos like that. Maybe not posing, but in general. But thank you for watching. I'm ready to post a lot more. Gonna be working with Duhan a lot more. And that's it. I'll see y'all on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.